welcome to the new video then. I am back on the bank and you join me on a local day ticket, just doing an evening session. Now, you're probably thinking, bit of a sudden change from light to dark, and the reason for that is I've had an absolute disaster start to this session. So essentially you would have seen me getting the rods out, getting everything sorted. So I was fishing, I was starting to get a few liners, it looked good for a bite, and then unfortunately some lads decided to rock up and getting right on top of where I was. Now I did explain that I was filming and wondered if they could give me a bit of space, but they weren't interested at all. Fair enough, they probably knew that the fish hold up in a particular zone and wanted to capitalise on that as well, which in a way is good angling, I guess, but it would have been nice if they had a bit more respect for what I was doing, considering I was there before them and obviously was already fishing and settled in. But it is what it is. So essentially I decided to just sack it off. I wasn't going to have an argument about it. I just reeled the rods in and just got out of the way and left them to it. So bit of an unfortunate situation, bit of a disaster start. Not ideal, but it is what it is. So I've come around to a different area of the lake, away from where they are. To be fair, they're pretty noisy. They are talking very loud. They've got a lot of torches going on over there. So I'm just as well I got out of the way, because if I'm honest, I like a bit of quiet and a bit of space when I'm fishing. So I was happy to get out of the way, if I'm honest. So it is what it is. But yeah, the rods are out now. I've chucked out a couple of rods. I'm just fishing a couple of little mesh bags of pellets with some 80mm bottom baits on the claw rigs, and I'm not putting any freebies out because I've had to move. I'm going to just fish the two rigs as they are and see if I can nick a bite doing that. So yeah, that's the game plan. Hopefully plan B pays off and we can have one. But after all this mucking around, I'm going to dig the kettle out. I need a coffee, so let's get on with that and I'll catch up with you in a bit. Right, well, one of the rods has gone off. The right hand rod. Out towards the overhanging margin opposite me. I haven't got my main filming light on the GoPro at the moment, so I'm just using my head torch, so it's probably not ideal. But I'm chuffed to have a bite after a disaster start to the session. It's nice to feel the carbon flex in. God, this fish is giving up a nice account. Huh. Jeez. Go on, mate, get in there. Oh, result. How about that then? Oh. He's a bit of a fatty. Well, it started as a bit of a disaster, but it's paid off, that move. I've been in the swim for about half an hour and the right hand rod's rattled off. A 80mm bug bottom bait with a little mesh bag of 6mm pellets. Happy days, we got one. So it's a bit lively. So I'm going to get him back in his watery home, and you never know, might get another one. All right, mate, yeah, you can go home. Right, get in there. We've had one that literally came out of the blue. I was just messing around doing a bit of filming, making a brew, and yeah, the right hand rod just absolutely ripped off, one toner. So I managed to capture a bit of the fight, I think, on the GoPro, but unfortunately the battery died, I think, part way through, which unfortunately when you're fishing in cold temperatures GoPro battery is an absolute nightmare. To be fair, most batteries are pretty bad, unless you can get the winterized ones, which seem to last a bit longer. But yeah, it always ends up cutting out at the time you want it, but it is what it is, I guess. But anyway, Rod's back out fishing. Hopefully there's a chance of another one. Got about an hour and a half to go, so still plenty of time to get a bite or two. So yeah, nice to have one after that move and that sort of initial sort of disaster to the start of the session. But it's turned itself around. We've got ourselves a reward, you know, moved away from the disturbance of the other area, and I'm dropped in around this this bit, and yeah, we've had one, so I'm well happy with that. Nice to catch on my own terms. So anyway, I'm going to actually drink my coffee now before it goes cold, so I'll catch up in a bit, hopefully with another fish. Right, we're into the last hour of the session. I've not had anything else, but I have had a couple of liners again on the right rod, so I do think there might be the odd fish still in the area, which is a good sign. I've not put any freebies out. I'm literally just fishing the hook baits with little mesh bags of the pellets, just to try and just nick a bite, really. I don't want to put any free offerings in, because I think there's not, I don't think there's as many fish around this end in numbers. So I want to just try and literally just get a bite, basically. So I've had one. I'm going to try and get another one now. Fingers crossed. But I've just spent about 10 minutes trying to find the lens cap for my camera. I dropped it, and it literally must have landed upright like that, and then just rolled off somewhere into the abyss. So I've just spent 10 minutes trying to find that, which was fun. But luckily, I have got it back now, so the lens will stay protected. But that could have been a bit dodgy otherwise. But anyway, I'm sporting my new beanie. It's not a new beanie actually, I've had it for a while, but I've not really used it. But it's got a built-in light on the front of it, which is pretty handy. Now, if you watch the channel a lot, you probably know that I'm always wearing a cap. I just love wearing caps, wear them day to day, wear them on the bank. Got a massive range of caps, much to the Mrs. annoyment. She absolutely hates them, just sort of hanging around the house here, there and everywhere. But yeah, normally I wear a cap with a little folding light on it, but obviously because it's going to get colder now and it is a bit chilly this evening, I thought, you know what, I'd dig out the cap out the bag, dig out the beanie out the bag, and chuck that on. So yeah, sporting this absolute eyesore, but does the job. Anyway, hopefully we'll have another fish before we go. I've just made another coffee, so actually, while I mention it, oh, we'll have some coffee. That was a lot hotter than I thought, Jesus. But anyway, hopefully we'll have another one before we have to pack up. But I'm going to start sort of getting this stuff up together and gathering the things into the bag and tidying up a bit. And maybe start loading up the barrow as well. And yeah, fingers crossed one of those rods goes rattling before we have to go home. So I'm pretty confident actually I might have another one. After having that first one, I've had a few liners. I think it could happen. So yeah, here's to another fish. Bit more careful that time. As you can see, I'm back in the garage. I've just got home and unloaded the van. Unfortunately, the outro that I filmed at the lake decided to cut out halfway through because the camera ran out of batteries, and I didn't have time to mess around and sort it out at the time because I needed to get out the lake, get off the lake before the gates locked. So anyway, yeah, it wasn't a blank. We had one. So although it started off as a bit of a disaster, and yeah, it turned out to be a good one in the end. So I managed one, but I did think I was going to have a second one, but maybe I just didn't have enough time. It is what it is. But anyway, hopefully you've liked the video. If you have, give it a thumbs up. And if you're new, then please subscribe to the channel. And until next time, get on the bank, be lucky, and I will see you next week about 6 o'clock, 6:30ish on the Tuesday for another video. Take it easy.